This is page number 100. This is chapter 2, high pressure boilers. First question: why is high pressure steam is growing demand in power plants? Answer: to increase the efficiency of plant and reduce the cost of production of electricity. Question: how does high pressure steam increase the efficiency of power plants? Answer: higher the temperature and pressure of the steam, higher is its heat content and therefore greater the enthalpy drop available in the expansion turbine. This means the efficiency of the power plant will be higher. In high pressure steam generation plants, greater economy in the production of electricity is obtained by making use of high temperature flue gases. Question: what are the unique features of high pressure boilers? Answer: method of water circulation can be both natural as well forced circulation types. The use of natural circulation is limited to subcritical boilers with operating pressure up to 140 kg per centimeter squared, while for critical steam pressure 218 atmosphere pressure and supercritical boilers forced circulation is used. Type of turbine. Type of tubing. Most of high pressure boilers are of the water tube type in which water is circulated through tubes arranged parallel to each other. Improved method of heating. Greater heat transfer is achieved by improving method of heating. By evaporating water at pressure higher than the critical pressure of steam, thus saving latent heat. By heating of water, mixing the superheated steam to obtain the highest heat transfer coefficient. By increasing the velocity of water through the tubes and raising the flue gas velocity above the sonic level, with the effect that the overall heat transfer coefficient is enhanced. The last point again: by increasing the velocity of water through the tubes and raising the flue gas velocity above sonic level, with the effect that the overall heat transfer coefficient is enhanced. Question: why is natural circulation limited to subcritical boilers? Answer: natural circulation works on the basis of density difference between steam and water. At critical pressure 218 atmosphere pressure and saturation temperature 374 degrees Celsius of steam, the density difference of steam and water is zero and natural circulation ceases. Hence, natural circulation is operative in the case of subcritical boilers. Question: why are the water tubes arranged in parallel? To reduce the pressure loss and to get better control over the quality of steam. Note: there would have been a large pressure drop due to friction if the water flow were to take place through one continuous tube. Question: what are the advantages of high pressure boiler? 1. Chances of scale formation on tube walls are very low due to high velocity of feed water. 2. Quick startup from cold is possible if power from an external source is available. 3. Increased efficiency 40 to 42% of the plant due to higher enthalpy of steam output. As a result, more work output is available from the expansion turbine. 4th, fit for meeting variable load quickly, as steam can be raised quickly. 5. Lightweight tubes with better heating characteristics can be used to reduce the cost, erection time and space requirement for tube layout. 6. When forced circulation is adopted, there is a greater degree of freedom in the layout of the furnace, tubes, boilers, compartments. 7. Danger of overheating and thermal shock is minimized due to all paths being uniformly heated. Question: who introduced the forced circulation boiler? Answer: credits goes to Law Mount for introducing the forced circulation boiler for the first time, 1925. Question: briefly describe Law Mount boiler. It consists primarily of three circuits: air circuit, water circuit, and I think flue gas circuit. Sorry, steam circuit. Air circuit. Air circuit, cold air is blown by a blower through the air preheater where it gets heated up in the process of heat exchange with flue gases. Hot air is then directed to combustion chamber to be used as combustion air. Water circuit. Deaerated boiler feed water is pumped through the economizer, a coil type heater, by feed water pump and fed to the steam separating drum, from which it forced through the tubes of radiant evaporators and convective evaporator by circulating pump. Together with steam, it returns to the steam drum to complete the cycle. Steam circuit. The steam separated in the steam drum is saturated steam. It is superheated in the superheated coil and fed to the expansion turbine to generate power to drive compressors. Note, the boiler is adaptable for all pressures from subcritical to supercritical, capacity exceeding 50 tons per hour. In this diagram, we can see the enthalpy versus entropy graph and condenser pressure, condensation steam at turbine inlet. We can see conditions of steam at turbine inlet. High enthalpy drop is available from steam of higher pressure. So for the higher pressure, high enthalpy drop is available. So the efficiency can high. In this diagram, we can see the law mount boiler schematic representation. Boiler feed water circulation pump is in the left side of the diagram. So it pumps to the primary evaporator, then secondary evaporator, then it goes to the boiler drum, steam drum. From the steam drum, the steam goes to the superheater, then it goes to the outlet. So boiler feed water inlet is top of the left side diagram. It goes to the economizer, then it goes to the drum. Again boiler feed water circulation pump is there. Air is inlet in the right side of the top diagram. So through the air preheater it goes to the combustion. So flue gas is going from bottom to top. So next question. What is the ratio of boiler feed water circulation to the tonnage of steam produced? Water circulation is 8 to 10 times the weight of the steam produced. 8 to 10 times the weight of the steam produced. Why is such high circulation ratio maintained? To prevent the evaporator tubes from overheating. Question. What is the main drawback of law mount boiler? Answer. The main drawback of law mount boiler is reduced heat transfer coefficient due to formation and attachment of steam bubbles in the inner surface of water tubes. How can this be eliminated? Answer. By operating the boiler at critical pressure, 218 atmospheric pressure. Question. Why? At this pressure, the density of water is equal to the steam. Hence, no bubble will form. Question. What is the minimum steam generating pressure of a Bunsen boiler? Answer. 225 atmospheric pressure is the generating pressure. Question. When did such a boiler go into operation first? Answer. In the year 1927 in Germany by Siemens Schachtermark. Note, it was first built in England 1923 by Mark Bunsen. Question. Briefly describe a Bunsen boiler. Answer. It consists mainly two circuits: air circuit, water steam circuit. Air circuit. Cold air blown by the blower is heated up in the air preheater by hot flue gas by indirect contact heat transfer. The resulting hot air is directed to the combustion chamber to be used as combustion air. Water steam circuit. Forced circulation is introduced to generate superheated steam in this open hydraulic system. A pressure feed pump feeds boiler feed water to the economizer, radiant evaporator, convective evaporator, and superheater, thus converting feed water into superheated steam in a once through cycle. Thank you.